Hello, everybody. Today it's very hot, so it will be a long lesson for me, but I'm not sure what's happening there. Okay. First, as always, I want to start with reviewing previous lesson. Let me do something before. Okay. Okay. I'm ready right now. Let's review what we have learned. First thing was a null pointer. If you remember from the slide, we had a comic there. And I think this is a good explaining of a null pointer. This is a pointer, it points something, but even though there's a null pointer there, it points nothing. When you create a variable like this is the variable, and as you can see, we haven't assigned anything. We cannot print it as you can see here. This is the str2. When we try to print it, it will give us an error. If you try to reach the length of it, still we will receive an error. Okay, I cannot print this one because we haven't assigned anything. If there is nothing inside of it, we cannot print nothing. This one is a null pointer. As you can see, this is not a string. If you cannot see double quotes, it means it's not a string value. So I am assigning null to str1. You should know that still we haven't assigned anything to it. This means, hey Java, I know there is nothing in this str1. So don't worry, the responsibility is mine. So whatever you do, just know I am not going to assign anything to it willingly. I know what I'm doing. If that's the situation, you can assign null to it, and at least up to that point, you can print it. But don't forget, there's nothing inside of it. str1, and I'm trying to print str1. It is printing null. It seems like as a variable, it has null value in it, but actually it has not. Because when I try to see the length of the str1, which I have assigned null to it, it will give us null pointer exception. It will be an error because this str1 does not have any value in it. Null pointer means, hey, there's nothing in it that I know. Of course, it's a little hard to understand, but don't worry. In time, we will be able to. So the next question, next topic was replace. If you want to, this is a string variable. If you want to change something with another thing, for example, I want to change all the A's with capital A's. Here, from now on, all the lowercase a characters will be changed to capital A's, and it will be like this. We had two lowercase a's, a characters, and now they became capital letters. That's all. You can change a lot of things. You can change characters. You can also change the words, or all of it. It's totally up to you. Replace all is a little different. In this first one, I told that I want to change this letter. What happens if you want to change all letters or all numbers? For example, here, let's go back to the slide. Let's continue from here. For example, here, I'm saying that all the digits should be nothing. So we had a lot of numbers in it. As you can see, it's very hard to understand what's written here. When I delete all the numbers, I am saying that delete all the numbers. I mean, if you see a number, change it with nothing. So it will be like this. I can do that too. This means change everything that is not a number, and all of them will be nothing. It means I want to delete everything except numbers. It will delete everything except numbers, so we will be able to see only the numbers. It's very useful. Most of the time, when you get a value from a website, it will be like this. And if you want to reach the number, you can delete every symbols from it, and you can do it like this. It will be 150. And the second one is, I think it's 100. As you can see, but don't forget that they seem like numbers, but actually they are still text values. And then we need to change them to numbers if you want to do a math calculation on them. Okay, we have also learned how to repeat an str string value. It's not important, don't worry, but trim is important. You may use it if you want to become a developer. Trim deletes everything before, every space characters before the word and after the value. I mean, word, value. If there are space characters before and after, trim will delete all of them, and it will be like this. There is no string space characters before and after, as you can see. And after that, to understand what we're doing, we have tried to solve a lot of questions to understand the topic. Today's topic is really important. You know, most of the time we are going to solve the questions by using the loops. There are a lot of different kinds of loops, so you should pay attention to this topic. So before coming here, let me show you a few things from code. Then we will try to understand what loop is. Today's lesson is day 12. Loops. The first one will be for loops. C01 for loops. Okay. So if I wanted to print hello 10 times, how can I do that? I want to print hello in my own console, and the number of repeating is 10. There are a few ways that we have learned. For example, let's create a string str. It will be hello, and I want to print this. I want to print 10 hello on my screen. That's very easy actually. So, of course, I haven't created the main method. First, let me create the main method. So, you know, we had a method that str dot repeat 10. It will print 10 hello words on the screen. If it works, it will, and in a few seconds, it's working hard. Here we have a lot of hello, but it's very hard to understand them. So let's print them line by line. I will let n here. This n means always go to the next line. And this time I will be able to see them line by line, as you can see. There are 10 hello words here. Okay, if we did not have repeat function method, if we did not have a repeat method, okay, how could we do it? Actually, it's very easy. I just need to print it 10 times. Sort str 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this one will print what I am asking for. As you can see, we can print a lot of hello like this. But you know, in coding, people do not want to see repeated codes. I have printed same code again and again. It is not very useful and acceptable in coding, real coding. It is actually very easy. And actually, I could be able to solve my problem. I could be able to repeat, I could be able to print hello in my console. But what if the question was something like that? Print all the numbers starting from 1 to 100. How can I do that? Okay, if I say yes, I will write 1, sort 1, sort 2, sort 3, sort 4. At least it's not impossible. It's very hard, but not possible. If I am not going to ask you what if I increase the ending value. Still it's possible. So, and what would you do if the question was like this? Print all numbers that can be divided by 3 and has 3 digits in it. As you can see, it is really hard to answer this question. You know, you have to calculate a lot of things. It will be 3 digit and it should be 3 digit and it should be divided by 3. And to make it harder, 23. So it is really hard, as you can see. So it's very hard to explain this kind of questions. With hard coding, you cannot solve this last question, for example. In this kind of situations, we have for loops. What for loop is? For loop is actually something like that. It is a mission, you can think it that way. It's a mission and it has rules. If you know the rules, it can be used for a lot of different kind of situations. Let me explain this diagram. Yes, loop is something repeatedly executed for certain number of loop. I mean, it will be executed for a certain number of times. Let's say you have written a code here, print hello. This is the code, and you are saying that execute this code 100 times. It's not that easy, but this is the main thing of the loop. Let's try to understand how it works from here. Everything starts from here. This is the first step. Then there is a condition. If a number is smaller than 100, for example. If the number is smaller than 100, if it is true, it will execute the loop body, the code we have printed. It will print hello. And then, this is important, it will change the number. I told you number was 1 at the first. If I increase the value by 1, it will come here, check the condition, and again, it will increase the number 2. If the condition is right, again, this everything starts from beginning with number 2, with the increased value. It will check the condition. If it is true, it will execute the body. It will change the body. It will increase the value by 1, another 1, and it will be 3 this time. And then again, the condition will be checked. If it is true, yes, it will run the body again and again and again. If the condition is false, let's say by increasing the value, you could be able to reach 100. And if the condition is smaller than 100, this time the condition will be false, of course, then loop will end. Shortly, there will be a number. Then there will be a condition. And each time we can decrease or increase the value. Let's say increase. Number will go to the condition. If it is true, the body will be executed. Then the system will increase the value. Now we have number plus 1. Again, it will check the condition. It will execute the body and increase the value. Number will be 3. It will continue until condition is not correct, and when condition is false, it will stop. Loop will end. How will we do that? It's very easy actually. Beginning number is this. It means I am creating an integer I. You cannot add a letter here, it doesn't matter, but most of the time using I is a trend. You should use I. It's not a rule, written rule, but it is an unwritten rule. So I, this is the number, and it will start from 0. The first value of the I is 0. This is the condition part. As long as I is smaller than 10, condition, as long as I is smaller than 10, the loop will continue executing the body. I mean this part. This is the body. The code will run when the condition is met. At the end, don't forget that this will be executed at the end. This is the increment or decrement. It will increase the value or decrease the value. And here, each time it will increase the value. Starting number, condition, and increment. And this part is the body. Let's see what happens here. I is 0 at first. It will start from I. It will check the condition. Is I 0, I mean, smaller than 10? Yes, it is. It is correct. True. It will execute the body, and it will print the value of I, which is 0, and there will be a space. I could be able to explain. After writing the body, the system will check the condition. It is still true, right? It will increase the value by 1. I will be 1. So it will check the condition. 1 is smaller than 10. It is still true. Then it will it will continue writing. This time, it will print the value of I, which is 1, and space. 1, another space. The code has ended. Now we will increase the value. I was 1, now it is 2. And again, then it will check the condition. Is 2 smaller than 10? Yes, it is. It is true. Let's execute the body. It will print the value of I, which is 2, then another space. And it will continue like this when I becomes 10, the condition will be false, so it won't print the values. It won't execute the body. Okay, let's do it in coding. I will write same thing exactly like it is, and we will execute it. If what I am trying to explain is correct, it will work as I told you. Oh, sorry there. Let me take it. I will create another class. It will be CO3 for loop. We need to create main object, main method, sorry. Then for, I will create a for while loop, and exactly like it is as you can see. Integer I equals to 0. I should be smaller than 10, and each time I want to increase the value by 1. And what will I print here? I will print here salt I plus a space. Let's run it. As you can see, in each line, it printed the value of I. If you delete this ln, they will be side by side. ln means print, each one should be printed in a line. When deleted, they will be side by side. Results, I mean. Here they are, as I told you. If you want to explain one more time, this is the starting value. At first, I will be 0. And this is the condition part. As long as conditions result is true, loop will be continued. And this is the, at the end of the loop, it will increase the value by 1. Okay. First value is 0, and then we will check the condition. 0 is smaller than 10, true. So because of that, it will execute the body. At 10, we will increase the value. So value of I is 0. Whenever I see I in the coding, I should write 0 there because the value of I is 0. I, and then there is a space character there. 0 and a space. Then the system will increase the value because of this code. At the end, system I will be 2. Oh, sorry, 1. Where's my mind? 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay. Then it will repeat itself. Check the condition. 1 is smaller than 10. True. It will print I. This time I is 1, as you can see. So it will print 1. Then a space. And this condition at the end will again increase the value of I. It will add 1 to it, and it will become 2. Again, it will check the condition. Let's speed up. Then it is true. It will print 2 here. Then we will increase the value to 3. 3 is smaller than 10. True. It will print 3 and another space. 4. 4 is smaller than 10. True. 4 and space. And it will continue like this. 5, 6. Still the condition is true. 7, 8, 9. After printing the 9, it will increase the value. It will become 10. Is 10 smaller than 10? It is not. It is false. So it won't print, it won't execute this code. the condition is false. This means do not execute the code, finish the loop. This one was very easy, and we could write it manually. What if the question was like this? Please print all the two-digit numbers that can be divided by 7. We are going to print all digit numbers, two-digit numbers, which can be divided by 7. So here we should create a logic. Somehow I should check all three-digit numbers. That's the first condition. Somehow my numbers should start from 100 and it should continue until 1000. Oh, three digits, sorry. Starting from 10 and until the 100. As you can see, I can see starting point should be 10. And as long as number is smaller than 100, if I increase value by 1 each time, it will cover all the three-digit numbers. So this side should be 100. This starting point should be 10. It will start from 10, and whatever I write here, it will check. 10, then 11, then 12, 13, 14, 15. It will continue like this until it reaches 100. But 100 won't be checked because when I becomes 100, this condition will be false. Loop will stop there. I could be able to understand this starting point every time I want to increase the value by 1, and every time I will check if it can be divided by 7. But first, let's create the for I loop. For I, again, I will start from, I will start from 10. It will continue until it reaches 100. And each time, I want to increase value by 1. Not 2, 1. So, how can I write? But first, let's understand. First time, the first loop, it will check 100. Then it will check 11 and 12, 13, 14. As you can see, 14 can be divided by 7, for example. We will print this one. 15, 16, 17, 18, I cannot write 19, 20, 21. I should also print this one. Okay, as you can see, somehow if I can check if the number can be divided by 7, I will check that. Then if it can, I will print it. Each time there will I will change its value. This is I in the first loop. This is I in the second loop. Because value of I is increasing in each loop. I can use this logic. By using this logic, if I check I, if I can be divided by 7, and if the remainder is 0, you know, for this kind of jobs, you should use modulus. It checks the remainder. If remainder is 0, it means I can be divided by 7. I will print it. That's all. So I, and then I will add a space. I want to print all of it in the same line, so I can delete this ln. First, I will be 10. When I divide 10 by 7, remainder will be 3. So it won't print. This will be false for 10. For 11, remainder will be 4. And because of that, it is not 0. Again, it won't print it. It will continue just like this. when it becomes 14, when I becomes 14, as you can see, when it can be divided by 7 and remainder will be 0, this will be true. The condition is true. It will execute the code. The system, Java, will print 14 here. And according to these numbers, the next number will be 21. Until 100, it will check all of them. But it won't check 100 because 100 is not smaller than 100. Okay, I hope I could be able to explain. Let's run it. Oh, it did not work. Oh, sorry, it did actually. It is executing the second code. Let's write the next. Let's write and explain here. Sort the numbers, and then it will print the numbers which can be divided by 7 between those numbers. Here, numbers 14, 21, 28, 35, and as you can see, exactly it is as it should be. As I told you, it printed 14 and then 21, and it continued checking all the numbers. If you have any question, this is the right time to ask it. We have a question. Man, what are you using Java for? I'm trying to explain how it works. We will, to test something, you need to know a programming language, and we are trying to give tester education. We are going to use these Java codes to test websites. Ahmed Ahsan, I couldn't understand your words. I think it's not English. If you can ask it in English, I would love to answer it. So, let's continue. We could be able to print all the numbers here. Then let's change the question a little. I will try to explain it with different question. And I think it will help us to understand what's going on here. Let's change the question. I will add another question. Please print all the numbers, start from 13. Print all the numbers starting from 13 until 100 by adding 7 to them. We are going to start from 13, and in each step, we will increase the value by 10. Then we will print it. And this situation will continue until we reach 100. So first, I will delete everything and a clean board. It's very easy. To create a loop, we need a starting number, a condition, then we need an increment or decrement. Let's say increment. We have increment here. Starting number is 13. Condition is number should be smaller than 100 until 100. Increment, each time we want to add 7 plus 7. If you can decide these things, it will be very easy for you to solve it. Let's create for I loop. For I. My number will start from 13, right? I will write 13 here. And as long as it is smaller than 100, the system will continue. I should be smaller than 100. This part is the condition. And here, each time we need to increase it by 7. By 7, it means I can write it like this. I equals I plus 7. That is the easy way of writing it. But we have a more professional way, and most of the time it looks better if you write it like this. Instead of writing it like this, write it a plus equals 7. More professional. But it does the same thing, so don't worry. Which one you prefer, you can write it that way. Okay. We could be able to mention starting, condition, and increment. And each time it will start from 13, it will check the condition, and at the end it will increase the value. Just I need to print the values, right? This stage has been set. I just need to print the I. So I will delete this ln part, I plus space. That's all I need to do. Because each time, starting from 13, it will print the value. At the end, it will increase the value by 7, and it will continue until it reaches 100. Let's write it here. I, the first one is 13. It will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will print the value. Is 13 smaller than 100? It is, it will print it. 13 and a space. Then increment will be applied. 20. I have added 7 to it. Is 20 smaller than 100? It is, and then it will print it. 20 it is. And then it will be 27. Is it smaller than 100? Yes, it is. It will print 27. And it will continue until number is equal or higher than 100. Let's see. But let's write and explain it here. So numbers starting from 13. Well, let's write this here. Okay, that's better in explaining. Here, the numbers starting from 13 until 100 by adding 7 to them. And here they are. 13, 20, 27, and it continued by adding 7 to them. And as you can see, 100 was the limit. It did not write any number above or equal to 100. Okay, let's delete everything and continue. So let's print another one. Print all the numbers starting from 1 until 10. Let's print all numbers square values. That's the task. We will do that. So it will print this, and we will calculate the numbers. So first, starting point. We will start from 1. Condition. until 10 it says, so I should be smaller than 10. We will print the square of the value. Okay, first let's create the increment. I have forgotten to print increment. We will increase the value by 1. If you can imagine those numbers, values, creating a for I loop will be very easy. For I loop, it will start from 1, not 0, and the limit is 10. It will continue until it reaches 10, and every time I will increase the value by 1. And I will print the square powers of the numbers. How can I calculate that? It's very easy. I times I. Then we will add a space. That's all we need to do. It will work. It should. If it doesn't, we will check it. Oh, I should delete this ln to print all the results line by line. I'm sorry, side by side. To print them side by side, I need to delete it. Here they are. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4, 16, and it continues like that. And 9 times 9 is 81. It is working, right? Let me tell you. At first, I will be, this is I, 1. The condition is 1 should be smaller than 10. And at the end, we will increase the value, plus 1. The condition is right. It will print 1 times 1, it is 1. And it will add the space after it. Then I will be, because of this increment, I will be 2. When I add 1 to it, it will be 2. This means adding 1. 2 is smaller than 10. It is true. So it will print the value. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, the condition is still true. Add another 1. It will be 3. 3 is still smaller than 10. So it will print 3 times 3, 9. Add 1, it will be 4. This is the last one, don't worry. 4 is still smaller than 10. It will print 4 times 4, 16. As you can see, it will continue calculating all the numbers until 10. Okay, now let's go back to slide and try to understand what's happening there. Oh, if the condition is always true for all the values of I, here, I will start from 0, right? The first value of I will be 0. And the condition is, as long as I is higher than minus 10, the system will continue executing the code. And increment is plus 1. The next time, I will be 1. And 1 is still higher than minus 10. 2 is higher than minus 10. 3 is higher than minus 10. As you can see, the gap between them is increasing. No matter what, condition will always be true. And actually, this is an infinite loop. 4 is higher than minus 10. It is still true. 5 is still higher than minus 10. And even though I write 1,000 or billion, million, doesn't matter, it will be higher than minus 10. It is an infinite loop, and this infinite loop may break your computer, so be careful. You can see a blue screen when you run this kind of loop, and it is a dangerous one for especially old computers. Infinite loop means a computer will try to find a result infinitely. Again and again, it will try to calculate or do whatever you printed here. And it's very tight for computer. I will create a class for you, and I will write exactly this one there. But first, let's have our break time. If you have any question, you can ask them. I cannot see any question anywhere. Okay. Let's have our break time. Hello again. We're learning very important topic for loops, and we were just about to try something dangerous. We are going to create an infinite loop, and hopefully my computer will not show us over the screen. If you cannot hear me for a few seconds, please don't worry. I will just restart my computer. Can you hear me? Is there a problem there? I hope you can hear me. It seems like there's a technical problem here. I'm not sure. Okay, it seems like it's working, but I cannot be sure. And I cannot hear any voice. Let me check this for a second. Okay, I hope you can see and hear me now. I think there was an internet connection problem in my computer because of my modem. I don't know what happened there. I have connected from different internet source, so everything should be okay now. Perhaps you couldn't hear me. I was talking for a few minutes. Okay. Let me change my settings for a second. It seems like everything is fine. Somehow my internet did not work, but the connection was okay. So let's continue. We're just about to do something, and I think my computer does not want to do it. You know, when I told you that we are going to run this infinite loop, problems started occurring. So even so, we're a problem. I will force to do it. Hey, computer, you will run this code, okay? Let's run it. Let's create another class. The name will be CO3 infinite loop. Don't run it in your home computers. You may see a lot of problems. Main method. Let's see the infinite loop, where it was. Here, it will start from 0 and it will continue until I is higher than minus 10, and it will add a 1 to I after each loop. For I will start from 0, and as long as I is higher than minus 10, the system will continue. And I will print I and a space. I'm not going to use the lines. They will go together side by side. I mean, yes, this is the critical point. If you cannot hear from me for a few minutes, don't worry, I am fine. And hopefully my computer will be too. And I'm running. I should find a mask here because of the explosions. Okay, let's run it. It is working, and we should start seeing numbers here. Oh, as you can see, there are a lot of numbers, and I should stop it. We have reached very big numbers, and I am stopping. That was very risky. In a few seconds, we could be able to reach millions, I think. Yes, 1 billion, blah, blah. And here, there are a lot of numbers. And it did not write all of them. But as you can see, as long as I do not stop it from this red button, it will continue executing the same code. Here, I started from 0 and reached millions in a few seconds. It is a little critical in your computer if you wait for a lot of seconds. If you don't stop it in time, you may see a black screen or blue screen. The limit is when you execute an infinite loop, the limit is your computer's capacity. How big is it? It will be able to find that big number. But don't run it. Let's write and explain here. Do not run this class. Danger. Dangerous. Danger. Okay. I think this should be enough, and nobody will touch this class. Voila. Let's continue. We have learned what infinite loop means, and also we could be able to understand why the condition is very important. According to condition, if it is a wrong one, you may create an infinite loop. Yes. Let's check this one. This one is a little different. You know, I will start from 0. Okay. And as long as it is higher than 10, it will continue. What will happen here? The first value of I will be 0. And the condition is I should be higher than 10. It is not. And this system won't execute anything. This part won't be executed because at the beginning condition is false. No matter what, we won't see anything on the console. Let's do that. I mean, let's create the code. I will create another class, false loop. False purport, false loop. CO4, false loop. I mean, by false, I mean, it won't work. Meaning, I will start from, for I loop, I will start from, let's check it, 0. As long as I is higher than 10, the loop will continue, and each time I will increase the value of I by 1. I will be 0, and as long as I is higher than 10, the loop will continue. And let's write something here. Salt I plus space. When I execute it, nothing will happen. I won't see anything here. Because starting from the beginning, the condition is false, the code won't be executed. At first attempt, even at first attempt, and condition is false. So loop will not be executed. Not even once. Let's write and explain it here. This is an infinite loop. So it may damage your computer. Do not run it at home. Do not run it at home. Okay, I hope you could be able to understand what false loop is. Let's continue. We have the questions. Print the numbers 1 to 100 on the same line with the space between them. We did this one, I think, that we. Let me check. Okay, now let's solve the first question. I'm not sure. I couldn't be able to find it. Yeah, we did not. What about here? No. No. Okay. Questions. CO5 questions. Main method. And I will try to find the question from the slide. Question 1. You know, understanding question is very important to solve. I want to print all the numbers starting from 1 to 100 on the same line with the space between them. It's very easy, actually. Let's decide starting point. It will start from 1. Ending, as long as the number is smaller than 100, we will print it, right? And each time I need to increase it by 1. They asked me to print all of them. Increment will be plus plus. Let's write it now. For I, starting from 1 instead of 0, we will write 1. As long as I is smaller than 100, this is the condition. And each time I will increase the value by 1. So I need to delete this ln because if I use ln here, it will be printed line by line. But I want to print them side by side, so I will delete it. What will I print here? I want to print the number itself, then a space. I will be the number plus a space. Let's run it. That's all. It took 5 seconds. And here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 99. If you want to include the 100, you can write equal symbols. So as long as it is smaller or equal to 100, it will continue. This time, last number will be 100. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to mention that. As you can see, because of this equal symbol, the last value is 100 now. Do we have any question? Let me check. No, we do not have. Let's continue. Take a positive integer from user printed numbers divisible by 7 from 1 to entered number. Okay, we have solved a similar one, but we have a lot of time. Let's try to solve this one. I think we will have time to solve all of them, but questions are getting harder. Oh, we have a lot of questions. Okay, okay, let's solve this question too. We won't be able to solve all of them, but we can try. Questions. You know, for this very important topic, we are going to use it again and again. So try to understand it. Questions. The second question is here. Let me clean the table. Take a positive integer from user. Okay. We will be taking a number from user, scanner class, right? Print the numbers divisible by 7, okay, to the entered number. Let's write starting point. Starting from 0, right? We are going to print all the numbers which are divisible by 7, starting from 1. Ending, I mean the condition, as long as I is smaller than entered number. User will enter that number. So this number will be dynamic. It will be taken from whatever user enters. And each time, we do not have increment now. It is not mentioned here. We will increase I by 1 each time because I want to check all the numbers. If they are divisible by 7, we will print them. Okay, let's write the code. For I, it will start from 1. But we don't have anything here because we did not take the number from user. To take the number from user, of course, we need to scanner new scanner system.in. Oh, system. Okay, let's inform user what we're asking for. So, please enter a number. User will enter a number. Let's store it. Integer ending number. Scan next it. Okay, we have a number and it will be entered by user. I can set an ending value this time. This one, the limit will be ending number, which one will be entered by the user. Okay, at the end, there's a message for us, including the entered number. So I should add an equality symbol here. Yes. We are ready. I want to check all the numbers, so I used +1 for the increment. The condition is if the number is divisible by 7, if it can be divided by 2, we will print it. And if it is divisible by 7, if it can be divided by 7, we will print it. So if I, whatever value it has, modulus 7 equals to 0. If it is like this, you print the value. Sort I and plus add space. I will delete this part because I want to see all the results in the same line. That's all. We have solved the question. Let's say user entered 20. Starting from 1, it will check. 1 can be divided by 7? No. It will increase the value by 1. It will be 2. 2 can 2 divided by 7? No. 3? No. 4? No. 6? 7, there's a 5 here. 7 can be divided by 7. So this will be true. It will print the 7 and the space. it will continue like this: 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 14. 14 can be divided by 2, it will print it. Let's run the code and see. I will enter 20. Oh, it did not print anything. Interesting. We entered 2. Oh, I have entered 2. I'm sorry, I was planning to enter 20. Because of that, it did not print anything. 20. And here they are, 7 and 14. If you enter 2, ending value will be 2. It will check only 1 and 2. And none of them can be divided by 7. So it printed nothing. Okay, this question is solved. Let's go to the next one. Take a positive number starting and ending numbers from user, print the sum of all the numbers between them, including the borders. If the end value is less than start value, print a warning and end the process. Interesting. Let's try to solve this one. I will copy it first. Question 3. CO7 questions. Oh, it's a long one. Okay. First, it's very important to understand the question. We will take a positive numbers, and we will take both numbers from user this time, starting and ending values. Starting and the condition will be taken from user. Print the sum of all the numbers between them. It means we will increase the value by 1 each time. Increment will be like this. If the end value is less than start value, print a warning message. But first, before entering the loop, we need to check another if statement. So first we will check if the value is blah, blah, blah. If it is correct, it will print. It will execute this loop. If it is not correct, we will print else, print a warning message. Warning. Star, star. Yes, I know it's very understandable from this texts, and I cannot read any of them. I hope I could be able to explain. First, even though it's the last sentence, we need to check if the end value is less than start value. If it is like this, if the ending value is less than starting value, it means loop will not work. So let's create main method and create first if statement. But before that, I need to take values from user, right? Scanner, scan, new scanner system, but I don't know why I was ready. So please enter starting number or start number. Then we'll take the number from user. Start number. Scan next thing. So please enter ending and number, ending number. Integer ending number will be equal to scan dot Next image. Right now we have the numbers. If the ending value is less than starting value, if ending number is less than starting, if it is like this, we will write a warning message. So, warning, military top secret has been detected. Warning, problem, red alert. If everything is right, else, if there's no problem, we will execute whatever I write here. If everything is all right, we can start writing our loop. For I. Starting number is not 0, right? Starting number is entered by user. I will use start number. And as long as it is smaller than ending number, the loop will continue. Forever dance. And each time I will increase the value by 1 because I will try to calculate sum of all the numbers between them. It should include all of them. How can I calculate sum of all the numbers? It's very easy. I should have a box, an empty box, and I will add all the numbers inside of it. That's all. First, we need to create an empty box. Integer, empty box. Or you can write total value. Total value. I have added total. At first, it is 0, of course. There is nothing in our box. But each time when we find a number, I want to add it. Empty box equals to empty box plus I. What happened here? Let's try to understand that. We have an empty box now. Now let's say entered number is 10, the starting number, and ending value is 20. I will start from 10. First value will be 10. And as long as it is smaller than 20, loop will continue. First number will be thrown to the empty box. The next one will be 11, and it will be added 2. The value inside of the empty will be 21. Then I will throw 12, it will be 33. And 13, 46, and it will continue like this. Each time, whatever number I throw inside of it, it will be added to the value. So all numbers will come here as an I value, and they will be added to my total value. Then at the end, after the loop, let's print them. But before that, sort I. Here, I want to print I values, or let's print the total value. It's better, I think. Sort empty box total value. Each time, after adding it, it will print the value. I should delete this part. It can run like this, line by line. I will enter 10. Then I will enter ending value 20. And here, the first number was 10. Then 11 is added to it. Then 12 added to 21. And 13 is added to 33. Because of that, it became 46. And as you can see, as I told you, at the end, the result is 146. If you don't want to see the result numbers like this, don't write the sort command in the loop. If you write it at the outside of the loop, it will be only printed once. If it is in the loop, as long as the loop continues, it will print it again and again. But if it is outside of the loop, it will print it only once, and the loop starts here and ends here. Okay. I will write 10, 12, and the result is 145. Let's see the warning message. If I enter starting value bigger than ending, warning, a warning, red alert. And I hope you will be able to understand what I have done here. Let's make it a little beautiful. I think it's okay. It is better, I think. So let me check the places for a question. Then I will continue. Okay, let's try to solve another question. Get positive number as a starting and ending values. Oh, we did this one, right? Oh, no. Sum of all numbers between them, including the borders. Oh, okay, it's not very important. Let's go question 5. Take a number less than 20 from user and calculate the factorial value of this number. Okay, I will calculate the factorial of a number as long as it is smaller than 20. I will copy this question 5. Oh, I can find it. I cannot find it. Oh, I found it. Questions. CO7 questions. Other questions coming after creating main method. Pardon me. So, taking a number less than 20. First, we should take a number less than 20 from the user and calculate the factorial value of this number. Okay, I will take a number from user. Let's take it. Scanner, scan, new scanner, still not in. So please enter a number less than 20. I'm not going to add the checking system here. Integer and root number will take it from user. Oh, next int is shortly. We have the number. Let's try to understand the logic here. If you know the factorial, for example, 5 factorial equals to 5 times 4 times 3 times, oh, there is 3, 2 times 1. You do not need to multiply it by 1, of course, but this is the way of calculating the factorial. If it was 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1, it's 6. If I remember correctly, this was not very much. We will calculate it here. Okay, how can we calculate the factorial values? Do you have an idea? It's not very hard. Just remember that each time we need to multiply a value by a lesser number. If you can do that, it means you can calculate the result. Just multiply a number. Each loop, this first loop, 5 will be multiplied by 4, a lesser value. And the next time, we will decrease the value by 1, and we will multiply it by 3. And then we will decrease the value by another 1, and we will multiply by 2. We do not need to multiply by 1. But of course, to follow the rules, you can do it like that. Even though it does not change the result, Still, this is the rule. We have to multiply it by 1 at the end. So this is the loop, right? We will multiply it by itself, and but before we should decrease the value by 1. Everything will start from the number itself. And in each loop, we will decrease the value by 1 and multiply itself by it. The result will be calculated like this. Let's delete those things. First, we will calculate this side. Then we will calculate this part. And the next one, and the final calculation will be, oh, I'm using same color. Okay, so let's try to create the value loop. Starting point is number itself. It will start from the number itself. And condition, as long as it is higher than 0. As long as number is higher than 0, the loop will continue. And each time, I will decrease the value this time. Number minus, because 5 to 4, 4 to 3, and each time I will decrease it by 1. And let's try to create the for loop. For I will start from the entered number. 0, the system will continue. But this time, I want to decrease the value by 1 in each loop, after each loop. So, we have the entered number, but I need a box, right, to store the result of those multiplied numbers. I will have it create result. At first, I'm not going to make it 0, because when I multiply 0 with some number, the result will always be 0. Instead, if you are working with multiplication, you should use 1, the first value of this one. And in this loop, I will multiply 1 with 5, the number itself, and I will store it in factorial result. Equals factorial result times I. What I have written here, let's check that. At first, I will be 5. The first value of I, if user enters 5, it will be 5. And it is higher than 0. The condition is, let's write it like this. The first number, condition, it should be higher than 0. It is, at the end, we will decrease the value by that. Now, whenever I see 5, I will write 5, because I is 5. Factorial was 1. 1 times 5, the result will be 5. In the next one, I will be 4 in the next loop. So whenever I see 5, whenever I see I will write 4, because I is 4. The factorial result is 5. When I multiply by 4, it will be 20. Now. Use the different color. And the next one is 3. I will multiply by 3. As you can see, it is more. 16. Then I will provide let's run it, but the factor it should all arrive yes. I think there is a problem. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, I can check the connection. Oh, hello. What's happening here? Hello. I think it's okay now. You should be able to hear me. I hope at least. So, I don't know. I think we could be able to solve the question and it's working. But normally, you should write an explaining for every step, but for now it's very clear. So I do not need to write an explain for in any of them. But normally in coding, you should write an explaining line, a comment will print result like this, but it's very easy to understand from the variable name and the code. So I'm not writing down. Let's continue. Get a number less than 20 from user and calculate factorial value of this number. Also print the configuration factorial account in the console. I think we do not need to solve this one. It's not very important. We have solved the question. Just you need to write the numbers, that's all. Let's continue. Get positive integer from number, from user, and print the sum of the digits. I believe you can do that, but this one is better. Get positive number from user and print all integers starting from 1. If the number is divisible by 3, we will print piece instead of the number. If the number is divisible by 5, we will print bus. Okay. If the number can be divisible by both of them, 3 and 5, we will print these bus. This is a very funny question. Let's try to that. You will write, for example, 1, 2 fees, 4 bus, 5 of bus, okay, 6 fees, 7 nothing, 8 nothing, 9 fees, 10 bus. We are not going to print 10, it will be bus. Instead of number, I will print something. It's a good question, but perhaps it's a little hard to solve in this situation. You know, this question is asked in an interview. And normally in interviews, they do not ask, nowadays at least, they do not ask any questions like this. But sometimes they may send you a task and expect you to solve it in 3 hours or a week, total up to company. But during the interview, it's very seldom, rare to see this kind of questions. Okay, now let's write the question. Then we will try to solve it. So class CO9 questions and main method. And the question is like this. We will get a positive number from user and we will print all the integers starting from 1. So we are planning to print all the numbers from user. Okay, start from 1. If the number is divisible by 3, instead of number, we will print fifths. So 1, we will print 2, and 3 is divisible by 3, so we will print fifths. We are not going to write the number. Oh, I have forgotten to copy the last part. Let me take it too. And we'll continue. 4, and if the number is divisible by 5, I will print bus instead of the number. Bus. So let's try to understand. We are going to create a for loop, of course. Starting number is 1. We will start counting from 1. Condition, the ending number will be entered by user. We will get a positive number from user. As long as I is smaller than entered number, we will continue. And increment, starting from 1, I want to print all the numbers. I will change them a little, but I want to print all numbers, so I will add 1 to it. That's the loop conditions, loop values. For I, starting from 1, start number is 1. The condition is I should be smaller than what user entered, but user hasn't entered any value, not yet. Let's take the number from user. Scanner, scan, new, in. So please enter a number. Integer entered number. Scan dot next int. Now we have the number. I can add number here. The limit should be I should be smaller than entered number. Entered number. And each time I'm planning to increase value by 1 to check all the numbers. Okay. We will start solving this question with fresh brain. So let's have our break time. Then we will continue. You can try to solve it yourself. Because of that, I will leave the question on the screen. We will continue after 11 minutes. Thank you very much. See you after 11 minutes. Hello again. Let's continue. Where were we? Oh, yes. We were just about to solve another question. Let's try to remember the question. Starting method as values, starting number is 1, and until next time we'll increase the value by 1. And we will print the value, we will print the numbers. But I should create if statements, right? And normally, if the number can be divided by 3, number which will be I modulus 3, if it is equals to 0, if it is equal to 0, we will print this. Else if I need to check something else, if I modulus 5 equals to 0, I will print pass. So that's part is certain. These are the rules I should follow. The third one is a little different. If I write this statement as a third condition, it won't work. So let's try to write it as a third condition, and I will try to show you why it is not working. In this loop, it will bring all the numbers. First, I will be 1, I will be 2, I will be 3 because of the increment until it reaches the entered number. Each time, value of I will be increased by 1. So, and each time I check if it can be divided by 3. If it is divisible by 3, if the 3 is to 0, print some piece. And let's add a space at that. Else, if it's not the case, if I modulus 5, we will print, so instead of number, if it can be divided by both of them at the same time. Another else if both of them number can be divided by both, I modulus 3 equals to 0, and not modulus, sorry, and at the same time, if it can be divided by 5, if that's the case, we will print start these bars, okay, here it is, and the space. If this is the case, I want to add something else. I want to go to the next line. So this will take me to the next line. Oh, this should be printed side by side. And then I will go to the next line. Okay, that's the case. Let's run it. Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't printed the values. Else, if none of them are correct, we will print the value. So I plus a space. It says enter a number, okay. With pleasure. There's a problem here. Okay, I will enter 20, for example. Oh. One, two, three. Oh, I have forgotten to delete this element. Sorry. I want to print all of them side by side. So this time we'll be able to see it better. 20. Here, okay, it's working. One, it is not divisible by both of them. Two, and fees. Instead of three can be divided by 3, so it printed fees. 4, okay, 4 should be here. Instead of 5, it printed bus. Let's write the numbers. This is 3, and this is 5. 6 can be divisible by 3, so fees. This is 9, can be divisible. It is divisible by 3. 10 divisible by 5. 12 divisible by 3. 15. This is the number, the critical number. Actually, it can be divisible by 5 and 3 at the same time. But according to the third one, it should print fees bus. But for some reason, and right now we don't know what it is, it did write fees instead of fees bus. Why? Let's check this one. 15 will come here. And this is true, right? 15 can be divided by 3. So it will print fees. It won't check other conditions because the first one is true. To fix this problem, this condition should be at the beginning. First, we need to check if it is divisible by both of them. This condition should be at the first. If it is false, we will check the next ones. To fix it, I will copy this condition to the first one. And we will print this line here. And this what? And this one will be like this. Here between them, order is not important. Only if you are checking 3 conditions at the same time, it should be the first condition. If you want to check them separately after that, you need to write them after that. Yes. If you are checking both of them, it should be the first condition. Always it's like this. Oh, this one should be fixed. Let's run the code one more time. What I have changed, I just changed, I'm checking both conditions at the first if statement. If it is false, we will check others. What will be the difference? You know, after 15 comes, instead of fees, this time it will be fees bus. This is the main difference between previous code. When a number can be divided by 3 and 5 at the same time, it will print fees bus. So let's focus on here. Oh no, again, sorry. Where is this? Oh, we don't need this one. Okay, let's write one more time. $20. Oh no. Okay, this time I will make it. I will write 20. I will relax. And we did it. As you can see, instead of 15, this time we have fees bus. It's working like magic. If we increase the value, if I make it 100, all the numbers that can be divided by 3 and 5 at the same time is fees bus. And each time after writing fees bus, we are passing to the next line, switching to the next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bus, 6 fees, and it will continue just like this. I hope I could be able to explain what's going on here. I would say, please ask your questions right now, but I know you are not going to. So don't worry. But still, I will check the channels. Okay, then I will continue. These loops are very important. I should try to understand all of them. So I want to solve another question. See 10 questions. And this is a question, I think we have solved it here. We are going to enter 4-digit integer number, and we will try to find sum of the digits. This time we have more viewports to use here to kill this question. Yes. Question 1, it's not required here. We will take a positive 4-digit integer, but this time I will change the although, but don't worry for now, from user and find the sum of the digits. Let's do that. First, we need to take a number from user. Scanner, scan, new scanner system, in, and we have, let's inform user, please enter a number. Okay, we're looking good. Integer number is scan. But next, we have the number, and now somehow I should calculate the sum of digits. First, I will reach the 4 and calculate it. Then I will reach the 8 and I will calculate sum of 2 numbers. Then 3, then 1. From where we will start? We will start from here, right? This will be our first digit. Starting, it will be 1. I will start from the first digit. Then, ending, I should continue until the number of digits. It is 4 here, number of digits. It is 4 now. And each time I will increase the value by 1. Increment, it will be plus, plus, r plus, plus. So first I will reach 4. I will calculate. I will add it to the box, 4. Then I will throw 8 to there. It will be 12. 3, it will be 15. When I throw the 1 to there, it will calculate the sum of those numbers. It will be 16. That's the logic. And let's try to apply it to the code. First, let's start by creating the for I loop. For I want to start from the first digit, and as long as the number is 4, the last ending number is 4. I have added equal symbol because 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 should be included too, because 4th digit will be calculated too. And each time I will increase the value by 1. So at first I will be 1, then I will be 2, then I will be 3, this is 3, then I will be 4. Okay, we are ready. 4 times this code will repeat whatever I write here. This part is very important, please pay attention. I'm not going to use I in the codec. Instead, I know that whatever I write here, it will be executed 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of using I will use it as a repeating number. 4 times, whatever I write here will be executed. And from the day 4 questions, 5, I think, the 5th class, I have explained how to use it. Oh, not this one. No, it is. It is this. It is the one. I have explained how to solve that logic. I will just write the question here. I need a few values right now. Digit, integer, digit. At first it will be 0. Oh, I could be able to write integer. Okay, interesting. You know, I will take the 4, but right now I just created it. Then integer sum of digits. It will be 0 at first. So how can I reach this value? And I will assign it to digit. It's very easy. If I divide this number by 10, the remainder will be 4, right? I will use that. I will divide the number, the number user entered. Digit will be equal to that. Number divided by 10. First, it will be 4. First digit will come here. Now digit is 4. Now let's add it to sum of digit. Sum of digit equals to sum of digit plus digit. That's all. This is the box where I'm trying to calculate the sum of digits, and I am throwing 4 to the box. It is inside of it now. Somehow, I should get rid of this 4. Do you remember how I can do that? Do you remember? How can I get rid of this last digit? It's very easy. You know, if you divide a number by 10, 184, when I divide by 10, it will be like this. If I assign it to another integer, the decimal unit will not be assigned. So exactly, exactly as I want it. It will be 138. And now, by repeating this function, I can reach the 8. So I will do it like this. Number, which is an integer, equals to number divided by 10. And then let's print the sum of the numbers. Sum of digits. Let's try. Let's try entering this number. The result should be, oh, it did not work. Let's see what's the problem here. It should have. Okay, let's try to understand what's the problem here. 4i starts and ends here. Let's run it one more time. Okay. Number the next int, okay, integer, digit starts from 0, sum of starts from 0. The first, I will decimal 10. Oh, sorry, of course. I'm not trying to divide number by 10. I'm trying to find the remainder. So instead of white symbol, I should use module. Sorry for that. Now it should work. Oh, 84. Okay, it's working right now. One symbol changed everything, as you can see. If I enter another number, for example, if I enter 5 digits number, and I will add another one. Oh, it is not working. No, it should be 17, but it is still 16. Because our system is not calculating number of digits dynamically. Somehow I should do something here to be able to calculate the length of the number. We manually entered the length 4, but actually I can make it dynamic. If I enter a number like this, dynamically it should be able to calculate the length of this number, the number of digits here. So it will be, when I do that, it will be able to calculate any number. How can I do that? How can we count number of digits at number? How can we count that? Actually, we haven't learned we cannot until now we haven't learned how to get number of digits from a number, but we know something. If it was a string, we could be able to learn how many characters has used there, but it's not a string. If it was, we could, but it is not. Of course, we can change it to a string. String number str. How can I change it to a string? This is the number. Somehow I want to change it to a string. If I can't change it to a string, I can directly calculate the length of it, and I can change this number. You know, if you remember, string is strong. If I write it like this is a string, and even though this is a number, it will fight with it, and you know, string is strong, string will win, and number will act like a string after that point. Even though this is nothing inside of it, it is still a string, so it will convert this number to a string. After that, I can get the length of this number. String number length. I'm sorry, it will be integer. Of course, we are talking about the length. Integer number length number. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm writing it like this. Number str dot length. Now I have the length, and it's a number. Let's change this here, and let's make it dynamic. If I enter number length here, automatically it will calculate the length, and it will calculate the number of digits, and according to that number, it will increase or decrease the loop numbers. Now let's try it. I will enter a long number this time. Oh, I have forgotten something here. Okay. I always do that. I forget something. I will enter a long number here. Voila, it is working. Let's enter a random number. Press enter. Okay, 11. It seems like it's working. Let's use another easy one. I will enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it gave error because I think we have created integer. You know, integer has a capacity, and this number is over the capacity. Let's use smaller number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. It's working. Of course, we can change it a little. For example, you know, integer capacity is not enough for this one. If you say so, change the data type. Make it a long. Long. Of course, we should change this part to next long. Now we can write very really long numbers because okay, it says this should belong to. If you say so, Don't work like this. It should. Okay. To say it's so long, you need to add L at the end. Some of this should be long too. Oh, too long, but the rate, okay, works. What's the problem right now? Okay, it should be long too. And follow the instructions. Okay, it should work. I should be able to enter a long number now where I have written long out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's working like magic. I want a longer one. I wonder how long I can enter. Oh no, this is outside of the log again. Actually, this is a really big number. So it's out. I forgot the capacity of log. But as you can see, I have increased the capacity, so it is working for longer numbers. Let me check the questions. Oh, I cannot answer all the questions in this lesson, so let me pass them on. Okay, no questions here, no question there. Voila. A second, please. I can check something. Let's try to solve another question. This is a good question, actually. I think we have solved it. Prime number. Okay, let's solve this question. Prime number is a good question, and sometimes it's asked in intervals. It's not a hard one, but understanding logic may be a little hard. But when you got it, you'll be able to solve it without problem. C11 question prime number. Main method, and this will be the last question. Okay, we are going to ask for a positive number, and we will check if the number is prime. If it is, we will print yes, prime number. If it is not, no, I'm sorry, it's not a prime number. How can we do that? Taking the integers is a part. How can we check if the number is a prime number? You know, let's say user entered 10. First, I want to explain what prime number is. I will write 7 here. For example, 7 is a prime number. Why? It cannot be divided by except by 1 and itself. Other numbers until 7 cannot divide 7. It cannot divide by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If that's the case, it's the prime number. We have also 11. You know, 11 can be divided by 1 and itself. Other numbers cannot divide 11. It's a very strong number. Prime. You know the prime from the movie? Okay. Let's check 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, none of those numbers cannot divide 11. So I hope we could be able to understand. The prime number is that. How can we solve it? It's very easy. What I have done here, when the number is entered, I should start from 2. Modulus 11 modulus 2. The result is 0? No. If I try to divide 11 by 3, it cannot. 4, I will try to divide by 4, 5, 6, 7, and At the end, if I cannot divide it until itself, it means it's a prime number. That's all. If I cannot divide number by using those numbers starting from 2 until itself, it's a prime number. So how can we create the loop? Starting, condition, and increment. Starting number is 2. I should not start from 1 because always 1 can divide in number. So instead of 1, I should start from 2. The condition is number should be smaller than itself. 11 here, I mean the number. Increment is plus plus. Each time I will increase the number by 1. 3 to from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4. So that's the logic. And each time I will try to divide number itself by the I. If the result is false, when I check all the numbers at the end, it means it's a prime number. That's the end of the logic. Let's create the for I loop. But before, we need to take the number from user, of course. I always forget that. I always forget everything, actually. Scan, new scan, system.in. So please enter a number. Let's store that number, integer number equals to scan.next int. Okay, we have the number right now. Let me clean it around. Okay. Let's create the for I loop. For I. Starting number is 2, and until we don't want to check number itself because we know that number itself can be divided by itself. So it should be smaller than number. And each time I will increase the value by 1. So far, so good. How will I check? If number modulus I, at first it will be, at first it will be 2 equals 0. If this is 0, it means it can be divided by that number. So I should write, oh, hey, this is not a prime number, right? Because a number could be able to divide it. So this is not a prime number. Careful. It is a fake. Let's write that too. It is a fake. Of course, there's a problem here. Instead, we have a problem, and I will show you what the problem is. I will enter 100, for example. Oh, it is saying something. Oh, hey, why it is repeating itself? Can you see the problem? Because actually, out of different numbers can divide this number. Let's see them. If number can divide this, I want to print it. This number can divide it. And I will write the number plus I. And now it will print this is not a prime number, and then it will write the number. As you can see, 2 can divide it, 4 can divide it, 5 can divide it, 10 can divide it, 20, 25, 50 can divide it. There are a lot of different numbers that can divide it. But I do not need to see all of them. Just once, just finding one number is more than enough. If I can find at least one number that can divide the number I entered, it is enough. It means it's not a prime number. If it was a prime number, no number should be able to divide it. If that's the case, if you want to stop loop, when you find something, you can write it like this: break. Break means if this is true, if system sees this code, break code, it will stop the loop. When Java comes here, it will stop the loop. I mean, if this condition is true, just once is enough. If it is true just once, I won't check the rest. Let's see it now. I will enter 100 now, and it won't check other numbers because finding one number is enough, more than enough. When I run it, when I enter 100, as you can see, it did not check other numbers. It checked 2, and the first number stopped the loop because it is enough. 100 is not, it means 100 is not a prime number. What about 100 level? Oh, it can divide by 3, okay. 11. Oh, let's write else. If it is not correct, it will print sub prime number. $11. Oh, this time it has printed a lot of prime numbers. Interesting, right? How can I solve this problem? Just one is enough, right? It won't work. It says prime number, but if I check 111, it says two prime number. At first attempt, when it is false, it will print the else code. So we cannot solve this problem by using else. Instead, I should do something else. To see at the end if it is a prime number or not, I will say something. If I set a condition here, Boolean is prime number, is prime number. At first, it will be false. This is a flag. I think yesterday or before that, I explained what flag is. But if the system comes here, I will set, I will change the value of prime number. Is prime number will be true. If it is true, you know, it means this is not a prime number, right? It was false, but somehow one number could be able to divide the entered number. So it is not a prime number, not anymore. And it will break. It won't execute the code again. After the loop, let's check it. If prime number is true, if this is true, it means it's not a prime number. Start not a prime number. Or we do not need to write anything because this will be printed. Just delete it. You can select not to write it. Else, we'll print start prime number. Let's see now. For 100, it says careful, it's a fake. Okay, it's working. What about 11? Prime number, and I couldn't be able to write it, I know. What about 111? Now it's working. perfectly fine. I hope I could be able to explain how to use a flag. If you want to set a condition, if you want to mark something, if this happened, I will mark here. If that's the case, you can use it like this. If you want to find a number of I'm sorry. Okay. So you can use this logic in all of different situations. It is very useful to use a flag somewhere. So that's all. If we don't have any question, that's all I wanted to explain today. And here I can be able to see any question. Let me check that part too. Still nothing. Thank you very much for today. I hope to see you on